Hello everybody, finally got some more product in. I'm going to crack some high C's tonight. I have 12 cases in total. Hopefully we'll get some good hits. Ooh, we got 4 gravy bones. You know, just kind of a theory, but I got a 4-case box, or a 4-box case was all the same, was Marlin. And turned out that was a Marvel box of Marlin. So that would be cool if that was kind of true. Let's get going though. This isn't my normal area. I apologize about the light, although maybe there's less glare doing it this way. But it could also get really dark on us too, so we'll see how it goes. But the product must be cracked. So let's get started. So far, quite popular set. The prices have seemingly dropped drastically, which I guess was to be expected after release. But I feel like some of the stuff crashed really hard, and I would expect it to bounce back. Some of the Majestics, at least. Some of them were already $1, which strikes me as a little odd first week, but it is what it is. Conquer seems to be holding its own at about 55 or so. Ooh, foil cracking. A lot of the marbles have dropped, and then some of them have popped back up. The allies I'm talking about specifically. Foil blood in the water to start us off here. And I don't think you guys will be able to see the foils very well, but we'll do the best we can with the lighting situation I got here. Golden Sky Warden, number 2, and Herald of Sechem. That's one of the ones I think dropped like $1.25 already. The Red Herald, apparently everybody hates. I'm excited to open up this product. So I was supposed to get 21 cases in total. Only 16 showed up. Unsure if the other, or no, I'm sorry, was it 17? 17 showed up. Unsure if I'm going to get the rest of them, but at this moment in time, I'm going to plan on not getting the rest of them. I hope that they do have a restock, even if it's a few months from now, kind of like what they're supposedly doing with the Hunted coming up in July. Conqueror, all right, that's what I like to see. That's the normal version. So only one foil so far, the blood in the water. So yeah, I like to hold on to some sealed. You know, obviously not the first week. I like to crack everything that I get, but I usually try to keep 5 cases of everything. Everything after crew, I should say. I have 1 alpha case, 1 art case, first edition, and sadly, funny enough, I don't have any crew because I got in after that, and I focus more on the ARC and the WTR. I'm going to plan on getting some crew here down the road before the price, you know, really spikes back up again. I'd love to get 5 cases of that. Not likely I'll get 5 cases of the original 2 sets, but one can hope. I almost actually thought that was a Marvel there for a second. Not in the cards. Everybody was really hyped on Marlin before the set released from just the spoilers and stuff. And I think that has petered out, but I think she has a lot to offer. I've been toying with her. She shoots some big arrows. I think with her, though, I feel like I'm going, well, especially with the Death Dealer almost out, I I think the play is to use a bunch of blue arrows and just pump the shit out of them. That's kind of how I'm building, and then use Conqueror and some other ancillary stuff to kind of just add an extra attack once in a while. Another Blood in the Water. And so far I haven't played many games, but I feel like it's pretty even. I haven't like blown anybody out, and I haven't been blown out, so I think that's a good start at least. King Kraken Harpoon. Deny Redemption. I feel like right now the ancillary slot stuff is not really very popular. None of them really have that much value. Foil Consigned to Cosmos. It's a pretty good box so far. Was it 3, 6, 7, 8 Majestics? 2 foil. Would be nice to get something a little bit spicier. Three packs left. I think the quality, ooh, that's 9. The quality of the marbles is much better. I think the majority of mine were really nice, and the ones that had little tiny edge issues were pretty minimal compared to that of the Hunted. Like one corner with a tiny little thing. Nothing terribly spicy on that, but 9 Majestics, that's a pretty good box. I have my regular setup, so I got to move everything every time. All right. See what we get. Saltwater Swell. Probably get some sleeves out just in case here. I was kind of ill prepared. I didn't really bring a whole bunch of extra sleeves, but I do have some. Get my bearings here. The Gravy Bone stuff seems to have popped off since he came in second at the Battle Hardened, I believe, which is pretty good for a new hero, I'd say. Initial week. I think he lost to Verdance is what I heard. One thing I have noticed in the majority of my boxes, the top left edge, right around this area right here, there's always a little nick in, unfortunately, the more expensive stuff. And I haven't noticed it in a lot of the cheap stuff, but I think it's whatever sheets we're going through, the cold foils and the marbles. If there is a defect to be had, it's actually in that spot. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but that's what I've seen. Sunken Treasure to start us off. Humperdinck. Did not get a whole lot of non-foil allies, so I don't know if they're short printed or what, but they are retaining some value. So far, no big hits. Well, I guess the Conqueror is kind of a big hit. That probably catches up to paying for the box for the rest of the stuff. One thing I have liked in this set is the spread of everything is pretty even. For instance, I know with, I think it was Miss Vale and Outsiders, there was a lot of issues with yellow pitch, commons and rares. Ton of missing yellow, and actually I think even the Hunted had some yellow pitch issues for certain cards. So hopefully they've dialed it in, because it seems to me when I was prepping the first 5 cases and making play sets and stuff, the spread was pretty even. I didn't have, you know, one color hugely or grossly higher than another. Midas Touch. So in 6 cases now, this is the first Midas Touch that I pulled. Again, maybe just bad luck, but you know, that card and Jesus, open. Give No Quarter. I also only pulled. I did get 3, I guess, in my 5 cases, but that card is up to 50 some bucks with sales on TCG. Heyo. I have to open the window a little bit more. I don't know if that's going to cause more glare or not, though. Moray LaFay. Oh, look at that. Polycranka. I did not get any of these in my original cases, so that's kind of nice. So we'll throw that over there. I want to say that's, I think they're over 150 bucks for the Polycrank at the moment, for the rainbow foil. I still believe the market suggests that the Marvel Polycranka is the rarest of the hits. The adult hero tokens are actually pretty infrequent as well. I think in the 5 cases, I think I maybe got 3 or 4 of each, which not very many. So definitely not ones to just toss out maybe. Probably won't hold any real value, but still probably not straight garbage like the other jank. Foil Golden Sky Warden. Come on, where's all the spice? I need a marble. Consigned to Cosmos. Last one. Last chance to get something. We only have 6 Majestics in this one. One of which is foil. So far, kind of a weak case opening. But holding the value of what I bought so far. So there's that. All right, gold pack magic here. Chart a course. At least I'm not getting a lot of duplicates of these. Kind of nice. Slide that under there. There we go. Keep right on trucking. Let me see if I can get some more light in here. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. I feel like it is going to shine. And I can turn myself a little bit, that helps. Everbloom to start us off. Light's messing with my focus. I feel like with all the other tokens, they didn't really need to print the perforated ones. King Kraken. But it's kind of just me. I feel like they're unnecessary. Herald of Secum. One thing I am surprised is the price of the Goldfin Harpoon. I feel like that's pretty rare. And that one is tanked down to 70 already. Another Blood in the Water. Definitely a Gravy Bones case. Come on. Consistent, but nothing explosive. Oh, and for those of you who crack a lot of boxes, always go through your tokens after. I usually find at least 1 or 2 marbles that I miss. Or not marbles, Majestics. Actually, one of, I think it was a foil Dovetail so far. You know, you get distracted, things happen. Oops, like that. Oh, okay, never mind. Could have swore I had something, but nope. Thought I saw red. Like that. Another conquer. Bang! Alright. Love to see that. Not quite as expensive as Shelter, but 55 is respectable. We're at 5 Majestic so far. You know, I'm still holding out that maybe my luck will change and I'll actually get one of the hidden treasures. That would be phenomenal. Something big would be awesome. As much as I'd like to collect the marbles of the amulets and stuff, well, or Humperdinck, and another Polycranka. Well, shit. I guess once you start, you don't stop. I shall take it. 2 packs left. So that's 2 L's. And since you can't get the cold foil, I guess that'd be pretty awesome. The Sea Lace seems to have dipped, well, dropped quite a bit, I should say. And the Cogworks really was never very valuable, but I feel like, you know, it should hold some value. Oh, that's glorious. Breaking stuff. All right. I think selling these for 30 bucks versus opening them is a crime. You should just open them. Pilfer the Wreck, not glorious. All right. Come on, camera. Stay with me. Focus, focus, focus. All right. Box 4. Foil Return Fire and a Riddle with Regret right behind that. I actually think the Return Fire is actually great for both Azalea and Marlin. You know, I actually, well, let me rephrase that. When you go second, it is great. I don't know that you need to have it in your deck for later turns, but Going second with that card, that's a pretty awesome turn 1 for you. Or turn 0 if it were. So I feel like it's definitely a sideboard for minimum Azalea, but I've been playing it in Marlin, and so far it's pretty good, especially because she would probably want to go second versus Azalea, who goes first with a choice. So Midas Touch, I like to see that. No marbles yet. 2 Polycrancas though, and 2 Conquerors. I'd say this case is worthwhile. Moray Le Fay. Put up 5 Majestics. Cuddy. Marble Cuddy. That one looks pretty good on the edges. Little tiny spot right there. I feel like the backs on most of these. Come on, focus. The backs on most of these are pretty good. The front, tiny little mark there on the bottom corner, but otherwise pretty solid. First marble of the box. Case, rather. Would love to get a couple more adult heroes. That would be awesome. So far, just a Marlin. Sunken Treasure. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Four packs left. Tip the Barkeep. That's another one that seems pretty popular. Undercover Acquisition. That one has dumpster fired like some of the others. Like a buck. Not even worth selling to me for $1. Especially being so new and nobody's really figured it out yet. I feel like the Hunted, I think it was, they had a few that they dropped to like nothing and then they swung back real hard and they were valuable. So we're at 3, 6, 7, 8 plus a marble. And we finish with not a moss. It's actually only my second common cold foil in 6 cases, so I can't really complain. Now, I guess you can argue some of the, the Chart the Course saltwater swell, but I feel like those are better priced than the normal common cold foils, so I kind of would rather get that jank than the common cold foils like they used to be. So I feel like this is all overall better. Hopefully, there we go, get a focus in there. That's the first case. I think that took care of itself. All right. Piece number 2. I already sliced it open. Well, that shoots to shit my theory about all 4 of the same hero being a marble. But looks like we got another one, all gravy bones. I think I'm gonna readjust here so my marbles on the right side, or my Majestics on the right side. So the way you guys can see them. King Kraken. Moray Lafay. Foil Tip the Barkeep. We're starting off strong. 3 for 3. I actually use the HMS Marlin one. I feel like that's pretty good to knock a card out of their deck. Even though Gravy Bones, it might actually help. I actually put one of the other ones, I can't remember which one, in the sideboard to swap them out. But it's a yellow and it swings pretty big if you have nothing else. So I feel like it has pitch value and play value. But who knows? Maybe it won't make the final cut once I really get going with it. Onyx Amulet. I don't know if those are going to hold value, but all those, well, not all of them, I guess all but 2 of them or 3 of them are over 20 bucks. And I'm not sure why. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to get rid of them, but I really don't know. That's one of the cheap ones, actually. The Diamond, the Ruby, and Sapphire, I think those are all over 25 bucks, or at least 25 bucks. But they're basically this, other than the watery gray, they're basically the same as the other amulets from Everfest. As far as I know. I haven't really paid much attention. Give No Quarter. I love that one. I just realized the glare is actually where I put the Majestics this time. Figures. I can't block everything. Body block, as it were. This room has zero light other than a lamp. Codex of Frailty. That's the third one in now the 7th case. Kind of surprised that the price tanked as much on those compared to Command and Conquer when I feel like they're still heavily needed. Barred Barrage. So the Barred Barrage, funnily enough, I got 3 in the first 5 cases, all of which were foil, and no non-foils. That would be the first. One pack left. Deny Redemption to finish us off. No big hit in that one. Oh shit. Rainbow Foil Visceri. Now, oh wait, no. Holy shit, that's a cold foil Visceri. That is fucking awesome. I actually needed that for my own personal collection. Tiny little mark, but on these old ones, that is really good. Top corner, or edge right there. Nice. Well, that's a hidden treasure I'm happy to see. That is going to go to my collection. That definitely pays for that box. And then we ended up with 3, 6, 8 with a $50 give no quarter. So, oh, 50 plus the Codex. I mean, yeah, that box was a banger. All right, let's keep this party rolling here. That was awesome. All right, here we go. Foil gold tip. I actually like that for Marlin as well. Of course, I haven't really triggered the yellow arrow thing. I feel like only the Goldfin Harpoon is going to make that. I have considered throwing in some yellow older arrows and replacing some of the other stuff that I had in there that were not from this set. And I might still do that just to potentially hit that. Not sure if it's worth it either, but you know, a 0 plus 3 with that potential, I feel like it's pretty good. You know, I could always throw the Kraken would also hit that too. Cogworks Tinkering. This one seems pretty common. Oh, I hate these stupid things. Whatever, we'll throw it in there. See if I can do this quickly. Not bad. Those ones have dropped to like 30 bucks, I think. I would imagine that Puffin would use it, but maybe not. Maybe there is something better. Chart the High Seas, that's another good one to pull. Blood in the Water for like the 3rd or 4th appearance already. Still a good one, I'll take it. There are quite a few Majestics that are holding that $10 to $15 range, which is great. I feel like it's a very healthy spot. Rusty Harpoon. What was that? Copper Cog. Yowza. I like the treasure pack idea, and I wonder if they're going to do something similar for the set to follow. I don't know what kind of gimmick they would use, since this one was obviously pirate and pirate treasure, but I feel like they could figure out something to do. I think it's a fair way to do it, to make sure they distribute the way they're supposed to distribute. Obviously without, you know, all the hidden treasures, you know, the next time around, but I think it has a much more positive upside than potential downside. Shloop. So there's a couple allies that I found that are in the ancillary slot, which are, I thought was kind of weird. Usually relegated to classes that are not in the current set, but there are 3. I think it's Rigor Mortis, Anka, and Ori. I think are the 3. Haven't seen any of them myself. Everbloom. Sunken Treasure, so we're at 5. Escalate Bloodshed for 6. That one's another one that's not doing anything. Might just hold on to them. Chum. He's holding some value, like 25 bucks. I think it's only the second. I don't even know if I pulled a non-foil in the first 5 cases I did. So that kind of explains the $35 price point. Last pack. Can we marvel? Can we marvel? I'm gonna say no. Still not bad. All right. Gold pack. I don't know if we can outdo the Viserai in this particular box, but let's try. Golden Tipple. Still no duplicates. I don't think I got this one. Oh, actually, no, there was one. I got 2 varmints, which is not worth a whole hell of a lot. Golden Tipple. Seven Majestics, a Legendary, and a Golden Tipple. I definitely should have brought a second box for this stuff. Oh, almost opened that too soon. Premature. Always gotta wait to the end. Focus. Focus. Shift my body. The monkey powder I like too. Although, I don't know, I feel like sometimes in the last couple games I played with Marlin, they go wide seems to be much more viable than trying to go big. But the draw on that seems important too. Onyx Amulet, another one of the poopy ones. Although I feel like that's actually good for gravy. Untap everybody. Foil Sunken Treasure. I think that's the first one of the foil. Oh, is that foil? Nope, sorry, couldn't tell with the lighting. We got another Codex of Frailty non-foil. Give No Quarter. All right, we're hitting some nice Majestics. Problem with the first week of any release is the freaking volatility on these prices. I gotta change my list every other day or every day. It's a pain in the ass. I feel like that bauble is finally showing some substantial increase in the crackage. And if and when it actually does crack, I wonder if they're gonna remove the cracked bauble from future sets and come up with something else that's gonna change over time. That'd be kind of a cool little gimmick too. Alright, we're at 5. Technically got an L, but that one, I haven't figured out yet if the L in the ancillary slot actually takes the place of the potential L in the box otherwise. I don't think I've had 2 in anything yet. It might. This set, I feel like when you get the marble or you get the L, you actually get less majestic. So I feel like they might be more in line with that replacement. Barrage, foil, Everbloom, class 4. Riddle, non-foil, sorry, I couldn't tell. King Kraken. You know, the first 5 cases I got nothing but King Shark, and I'm pretty sure I've gotten all King Kraken in these last 2. Neither one of them is holding any value in the non-foil though. Everybody wants the foil version, the EA foil version. Frailty, I guess, was the big hit in that one, along with the Give No Quarter. It's pretty good. I will take it. All right, come on, focus. Gold pack. Swiftwater Sloop. I think that one's actually a duplicate. Either that or I got the blue one last time. Let's get that one visible. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sorry, 8 plus an L plus the sloop. I was going to say sloop dupe. Alright, case number 2. Again. I like duplicates. Makes me feel less bad about keeping a copy when I can sell one. Now this one, the edges are chipped on both. Now it's heavy played. Thankfully, no other damage, but yes, chipped on both sides on the front. That's a bummer. And I pulled a stinking sleeve again. I got to fold under. First one went pretty fast. Let's hope this one does too. Get in there, you stupid mother. I think that one's like a $30 one, but still nice to get the marble. So I think it's a nice touch that the treasure packs have the all the pirate cards, and I'm glad there's not just random. I think it feels good that all the pirate cards get the cold foil treatment. Nimby. You know, I think they could have taken that dwarf and made him a hero at some point instead of giving him a card with his name. He's been in enough of the cards by now. Between the belittle and, you know, this one, and there's another one I think with the dwarf in it. Pretty sure it's the same dwarf. This Jack Be Quick one is kind of weird. I don't know why they would put that in this set, but I guess because he's a thief. Loan Shark. Guess I didn't make a pile. That one was kind of short printed also. Oh, I mean short in my first cases. I think I got 3. That one had increased value significantly after I sold mine. Go figure. The Workshop. That one's not worth a whole lot. Foil Barbed. Tip the Bar Keep for number 4. Foil. That Herald in foil is freaking banging. That is nice art. That gold really, really glows. Palantir Aeronaut. We just shot up to 6 with 2 foil now. Last pack. The only thing we don't have is a legendary. Preach Modesty. Wow, for some reason that Goldfin looked foil. I was like, that's not possible. see if we can finish off this case with a second banger. Pilfer the Wreck. Not a banger, but also a duplicate. You know what? I'm not putting that shit on anymore. We got the Cuddy though. Not terrible. Probably one of the weaker boxes, but that is pretty phenomenal. Focus. There we go. There's a picture. Case number 3. Excuse me. And all of my boxes have been Belgian print. So I personally like the Belgium better, except with the Hunted, being that the quality was a little bit less. Cases in a row, all gravy bones. Not sure how to take that. Definitely shoots through my previous theory. All right, let's keep on trucking. Still no Fabled. And does anybody else think it weird that there was no cold foil Fabled? I feel like I don't understand the rationale there. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty sure it does not come in the treasure pack either. Yeah, I think it's already been checked. Bluefin, that looks really good. Blood in the Water to start us off. Really hope my light holds out so I can keep ripping these boxes and actually video them. Not that I get a lot of views on these things, but it's kind of nice to have the record. And for anybody that's curious or hasn't been paying attention, about every 30 minutes, that's about how long it takes me to knock out a box. That's when I set up all the Majestics and hits. So if you just want to skip to that, you can do that too. Midas Touch for number 3. Foil Monkey Powder and Deny Redemption. Arcane Compliance. I think that one has a little bit of value to it. Not much, since Wizards aren't super hype right now. Something to hold on to though. Anything under $2, I'm definitely reluctant to sell unless I get so many of them I can't stop myself. Foil Cogworks Workshop. Foil Arcane Compliance. Come on, due for an adult hero Marvel. Let's go. Cog in the machine. Sapphire Amulet, that's one of the good ones. I think, pretty sure that is. So we are at 3, 6, 7, 8. Last pack. Come on, something to close. Not a moss. You know, actually I have not pulled a single rainbow foil dead threads. Multiple Cogworks, probably 5, and 2 or 3 sea lace, and 3 gold tips. No dead threads. Chart the course yellow. I think the other one was red. Box number 2, case number 3. Tip the barkeep start us off. Sunken Treasure. Everbloom Life. Sitting at 3, and we're at the halfway point, I think. Sea Legs. Consign to Cosmos. We're at 5. Oh man, this box is terrible. Nothing spicy, only 5 Majestics. Oh. Ugh. Terrible. Fucking horrendous. Wow. That, I don't think I missed that many. But maybe this will make up for it. That definitely did not make up for it. That was thoroughly disappointing. That is definitely the worst box. And, I mean, what is that? Maybe 20 bucks in Majestics. Yeah. Let's just make sure I didn't miss anything. That's a negative Ghost Rider. Alright, well, on to greener pastures. chart the course to start us off. King Kraken. Something's in the back. Moray LaFay. All right. I mean, oh, so slight little speckled whitening. Maybe one little. I mean, they're not even regular print dots. That's pretty solid. Moray LaFay. All right. Well, that already makes up for the last box. Partially. Sinker. Surface shaking. Bam bam. The rusty trombone. Moray LaFay. I think that's only the second Majestic hero, or ally rather, that we pulled. One Chum, one Moray, I think. Shows you how rare they are. We're at 5. Golden Sky Warden, number 6. Still no Marvel Adult. It's not going to be this box though. I don't think you can get 2. I guess maybe in the ancillary slot, but Cogworks Dovetail. Hang on, guys. I'll be out in a minute. Got my cousin's kids at the door. might not get anything spicier than Moray LaFay. Not a moss. Come on, treasure pack. More hidden wonders. Cold foil gold baited hook. I was hoping to get one of these. And that one, I mean, the quality is so good. There's no corner issues on that guy. But that upper left, I don't know if you guys can even see it. Always a little ding. It's not big, but that's a bummer. One little spot. Still keep it though. And 7 Majestics. That was actually my first cold foil of those too. I did get one extended art sea lace and one dead threads cold foil. No rainbow still in that one. Alright, the end of case number 3 here. Then I'll take a quick intermission. Cog in the machine. Jolly Bludger. And a foil Tip the Barkeep. And a foil Codex of Frailty. Damn. Triple fucking threat. 2 of which are foils. That is awesome. That might be considered a god pack right there. And you know what? I need to start sleeving these frailties. Got some edge issues. Tiny little bit. It's always kind of curled up there. That's a bummer. Rigor Mortis. Well, this is turning out to be a banger of a box. And actually, this is one of the ones in the ancillary slot, I think. Which I think has some higher value. This corner right here has got some speckling. Back looks good. Yeah, tiny little bit of edge curl up. Not bad though overall. And I think it's the first time I pulled that one. Wow. And there's an L in foil, and there's a Rigor Mortis marble. I don't know how I could top this, other than maybe the treasure pack. Not sure I can get anything else. Actually, some Conqueror, Give No Quarter, those would be awesome in addition to this. I think we're past the halfway point, just barely. Blood in the Water for its 19,000th showing. But we only have 4 Majestics, even though we got some other bangers. What else can we get here in the close? 3 left. Miss anything there? One Conqueror would be freaking awesome right about now. Undercover Acquisition. It gives us 5 at least. And King, Kraken, and Deny Redemption. Well, we went from what, 4 to 7. Nice. All right. Can we make this a God box? First, we got to be able to open said pack. Jesus. Sorry, the struggle was real there. Blue Battalion Bark. It is a new one for me. All right, there's the end of case number 3. Slight intermission, and I will be back for more.